Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Monday Motivation. I'm your host, Daniel Krakowski, as always, joined by the Maroon Man.
The Maroon Man? Why? Because I have a maroon shirt on?
Yes.
Somewhat maroon?
It was uninspired.
Really? My Adidas?
Huh?
This is going on like...
No, my nickname choice.
2.5.
You look great.
Oh.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
Am I blushing?
You are.
Good.
And also joining us today, we have the Godfather of Soul.
James Brown?
The James Brown is here. What's up, James Brown?
How you doing?
No, just for those of you who don't know, that is Stas Monchik. Joining us once again, he's been a staple of the Monday Motivations as of late. Here to shed some light. He's out there killing it. What are you doing right now? Like every time I see you, you're just like running around. You're on the phone. You're talking about how you've got all these things. You're juggling all the time.
Just different things
that
will come into the world soon.
Oh, perfect.
That we'll make public.
Oh, that's okay. If you want to answer your phone, for everybody that wants to listen, is that our business call?
No, so this week I lost 2 furnaces and a water heater on my properties.
Hey, we lost, I think, 5 or 6 furnaces. Ryan, can you confirm? Was it 5, 6? I don't know. It was a lot.
We got like 15 grand in the furnaces this week.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm about halfway there. So
15 painted furnaces. But hey, that's the joys.
Yeah, that's what we need to keep it hot here.
What's great is the fact that you have now a brand new furnace that's going to stay with that property.
Yeah, fresh depreciation schedule. There's all kinds of great things.
I love spending money on real estate.
Who doesn't?
And furnaces.
Right on. So what I wanted to focus on then today is, it's
aside from the motivating,
we're at a point in the year now where we get a little bit of calm. It's starting to get a little bit calmer for most of people. Maybe not Stas, but for the rest of us mere mortals, it's starting to slow down a little bit. So
did we introduce him with a proper introduction, Stas, and what's happening, or no?
I think not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
When is this?
You want to do it?
You do it.
You do it.
All right.
You're doing the baton and the torch and the stuff.
Yeah, there's a ceremony. There's some weird hazing and fraternity stuff going on later. But I'm actually leaving VSM Real Estate and being replaced by Stas. So Stas is going to come in as the executive vice president of the company going forward. He's going to be running the brokerage, overseeing pretty much the leads of all the other divisions in the company as well. I was, of course, fired for gross incompetence, stealing office supplies.
His contract did not include Monday Motivation. He's still obligated.
Yeah, I still have to do this. I'm going to be here for a while. It's really awkward in the hallway. We had a year deal. Yeah.
Is that what it takes to go platinum, Daniel?
It is. Yep, exactly. No, I'm actually moving on and going to be the CEO of VSM Commercial and partner with Ryan and Gordon, which we've alluded to. The Facebook page is out there. Yes. The website's being built. We have a few deals already kind of in the works. So really, really excited about that project going forward.
Right. For everybody that's out there, don't be scared. Daniel's still in the fold within our conglomerate, but in a different segment. We brought great talent with a lot of experience in Stas, and he's pretty much going to change the game. I think he's going to take it up a notch.
I agree.
For where you brought it, which was necessary. Now he's going to take it up a notch. So I'm really excited. Ryan's excited. You're excited.
Yeah.
So a lot of big things. And then you guys are going to collaborate together as well, commercial and the brokerage side, the retail side, not just in the field, but also in the podcast and Krakowski Real Estate Hour that's coming to you.
The commercial real estate
real estate hour 2018, along with Stas Commercial Real Estate Hour that's coming. It's going to be.
It's all going to be intermixed.
It's all
there you go.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be huge.
There's a lot of stuff coming.
A lot of stuff.
Really excited about it, and really excited to get to spend more time with Stas too, because every time that I've gotten to talk business with him, I've learned a lot. We've gotten to, really compare ideas and, steel sharpening steel. So, in the interim.
I love it. God, the Mr. Analogy himself.
Yeah. So in the interim, there will be a little overlap. We'll still be handling some residential for past clients and stuff like that. But going forward, commercial is really where I have my vision set. So.
Right. And we're happy the fact that you have recognize what your next passion is and for us to be a part of it. And then you are also carrying the VSM brand, the name, but then also we're going to a new venture, but everything will kind of complement each other. So it'll actually be much better value for everyone involved and our customers and, all of the agents here and everybody.
The overarching idea is that we want to provide more complete overarching service to everybody, and doing a little bit of specialization is going to really help with that too. So
it's going to be fantastic.
We're on mission here. We're on mission.
I know Stas has already got the schedule with Isaac for some videos that we're gonna start doing in tandem with your videos, Daniel, as far as VSM commercial, and they're gonna overlap. At which point, I foresee this in my head when we move to our new space, office space. Oh, that's kind of gonna be a new thing too. It's just gonna be. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be Gary V times 10. So it's Gary V, Grant Cardone, downtown St. Paul.
All intermixed.
That's insane.
It's going to...
The city can't contain it.
Right. Ryan's on board. Mr. I don't want to spend money. He's on board. That means it's going to be ginormous, right?
That's huge.
It's going to be... again, you got to be excited. On Monday, we're meeting with the architect. They're going to put the plans together. But we're basically just moving a block over.
Right. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit today, going back and trying to give some sort of theme to it a little bit, is, in these moments where you're making some dramatic change, or you're going from some sort of support role, some executive role to, you're moving up and essentially you have less support, you have less guidance. It's like, how do you as the individual look inward and determine what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, how best to fit and plug your personality into whatever role you are going into? Because I think, a lot of people, like if you're a real estate agent, for example, most of them are pretty good salespeople, the successful ones, right?
Of course.
But now you're in a position where half of your job is salesperson, and the other half of your job is management and marketing and trying to put together a strategic vision for a company. Things that you may not have tested yourself for in the past. So I think what's really, really important to do is really analyze yourself. And if you haven't done it, the exercise that I want to challenge everyone to do is, write your name on the top of a piece of paper and put strengths and weaknesses and start listing those items, just to really force yourself to think, who are you? What are you good at? What do you need work on? Because a lot of people, there's the old adage where it's like, hey, if you're not good at it, hire someone else to do it. Not always an option. So, it forces you to recognize your potential shortcomings so you can develop a strategy to either get better at them or circumvent that, skill set being required for what you're doing. So, I don't know. Have you ever done anything like that?
Absolutely. All the time. You take a step back and you figure out what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you can get better. And a lot of it comes too from what other people are doing. So meeting with those people, having lunches, having coffees with the people that are doing it and doing it well at a high level.
Yeah.
And taking what they're doing and kind of intermixing them with what you're doing as well, just so to follow the processes of that sort.
Right.
Because there's no reason to reinvent a wheel that already works. You just have to tweak it to your own self.
Absolutely. And that in that sense too, knowing yourself then becomes equally important, because you have to know how you tweak it, how you make those adjustments for something that's going to work for you.
Of course, and that's going to be the most important thing, is figuring out who you are, what makes you work, and where you're able to operate at the highest levels. To everyone, it's completely different. Some people need 7 vacations a year. Some people can work 24 hours a day like Goran and, sleep for 30 minutes in his office and be just fine.
Some people need multiple boat trips every week.
Right. But you know what the secret is already. I already told everybody.
Celsius.
Celsius.
Shout out Celsius.
I know. Where is my check?
So, right. So, I think it's really difficult for most people to really understand who they are and what they're good at and what they're not good at. But it's very easy to see what someone else. How many times have you seen someone at a company you're working at where someone got promoted or someone got a job and you're just like, wow, that person is not going to do well because of this. Like, that's a lazy person. They're going to be terrible at this. And, I think it's easy to see that and identify it in someone else, but I think very infrequently are we honest enough with ourselves to be like, no, I'm too lazy to do that.
Of course, and it just all depends on each individual. So if you want to grow, you want to get better, you want to do better, you consistently keep learning, you keep doing different things, you keep jumping into situations that cause you to grow and cause you to grow at a faster rate than typically, or else you're just going to be, otherwise you're comfortable. If you're comfortable doing what you're doing, that's completely fine too.
Yeah.
But there's certain individuals that want more, and that where they are now is not enough. So there's more, and that comes with learning, doing more things, and becoming better every day, right?
Right. Yeah, and taking responsibility for the fact that those things that you want aren't already in your grasp. You know, it takes a lot of work, definitely.
It does take work. I mean, anything worthwhile always takes work.
Right. And I think it does definitely get easier. That's something that I noticed in my role, and you'll maybe see this or have felt this already. But my life was pretty easy. I didn't really have to. I didn't have to do a ton. Like, people would refer me to other people, and I would just get clients and deals, and I probably could have coasted with a decent salary for the rest of my life.
Well, I think it is what you make of it, right? And when you mention, it's, my life is easy or whatever you did, it's because it's by design.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of people make things more difficult than they need to be. In your case, you're laid back, you do great work, but it's all by design. I think that's really kind of, I don't know, secret sauce. You really have to make your own world.
Yeah.
So
taking responsibility.
We'll just keep practicing, keep doing what you're doing. So it's with Michael Jordan, right? It was the 10,000 shots that he didn't make, and that made him who he was and how he played each game. So it's everything that you do behind the scenes to what people don't see, whether it's the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the interviews you listen to, all of that just create a better environment for yourself to learn more and to be able to do more.
And the struggle always is too, and all systems in nature for the most part try and revert to the most efficient way possible to do any task, right? So you're looking at what's hard and what's easy, and then there's also kind of this third factor in there with what's efficient. So you always want to work hard, but you want to work hard and work smart and be efficient with what you're doing. So really understanding what's important to you, but also to the task, but also who you are to be able to mold yourself to the task.
What's important for you is, again, my top priority, because I know it all. I have to be feel really good about whatever I'm doing in order for in my eyes, for success to happen, but it also dictates and sets the wheels in motion of how good that whatever it is it's going to be, like how engaged you are, and that's the first thing. If you're passionate about something, and the end result is going to be better, or it's going to be a little bit easier, it's going to be you're going to perceive it as being easy to get to that goal because you're into it. So I think the first thing is really like, hey, am I really feeling this? Is this what I want to do? How happy do I feel about starting this venture or doing this? So
maybe the steps are, number one, first look really deeply inward and try and understand what it is you're truly passionate about.
You have to love what you do.
Right.
Anything that you want to do that's worthwhile is going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. So you have to love what you're doing, because if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be passionate about it. You're going to try it for a week and you're going to give up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Daniel's case, going from what he considers a comfort zone, having to do residential real estate transactions, into this quote unquote unknown world of where things are going to go with VSM Commercial, but he's going because he feels passionate about it, and that's where his next level of happiness is. So he's going to pursue it versus just staying with what's quote unquote safe.
Right. I mean, my overarching idea, my drive, my why is I want to put Minnesota on the map. I want to develop Minneapolis, St. Paul into like a Chicago-esque city. I want it to be.
And you can do it.
I will. I'm on it, man. I got a plan.
You got a plan. You just got to execute it.
This is step 2 right now, the VSM commercial. So I'm excited to be embarking on it.
And I'm excited to be a part of it. That's what's kind of nice about partnerships too, is like I may not have thought about the idea, but then the fact that, we see each other every day, and then you came up with something that I didn't think of, and you're like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? It got me excited to the point where I'm like, hey, I want to contribute to this success, which, again, it just adds more to whatever you're trying to do by having more people back you up.
Totally.
And share that same vision and the drive. So,
and you and I are both very passionate and excitable about new ideas. So we can play off each other a lot, and get really fired up about it,
right?
And keep pushing it forward.
I see him walking the hallway. I'm like, hey, you want to do a Monday motivation? And what do you say?
Yep.
Right. So it's just like on the whim. Let's do this. We connect, and then we just execute. So there's pretty much, I don't think there's anything that you can bring to me, and then you're super passionate about, and that passion that you have will just infect me, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man. Come on, let's race cars.
Totally.
Right, in the parking lot.
Right. Yeah. So I think that number one thing for me is having that right mindset, and your mindset should not be to achieve X amount of dollars or the things that you want to buy. Really just like, hey, what's going to make me happy? Because the rest will follow.
It's funny because I think I'm a decent example where I have aspirations that are tied to financial success, but I have nothing that I want to buy with money. Like
right. So that's
it frustrates everybody else. Like I don't want anything. I don't want to buy anything.
That's the thing, is that what makes you so successful is that you're not motivated by the money, but you're motivated by that end result. The money is the byproduct, and relationships are also a byproduct of whatever you're trying to achieve. And with VSM Commercial, we have an outline or goal, the things that the direction we want to go in, just like Ryan and I had with VSM Real Estate. But I know that the exciting part of that journey is what it's going to morph into and things that are going to happen and change. Because sometimes where you start, it's not going to be the place that you end up in, and that to me is the exciting part. And through all the things that you go through, you get the benefits, right? Not just the financial ones, but you get the relationships, other business.
Right.
That's to me is what the exciting and my why.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's all about the journey, right? It's all about experiencing things, trying new things, doing new things, following through the journey. Are you
now that you've been with your previous broker for how many years?
Almost 6.
All right, so that's a very long time.
Okay.
And now that you're in this new environment, it's the same type of business, but I'm guessing a very different environment than you were before. Like, do you have what are some the good and the bad that you can share with us and also our listeners, just from making that switch, and why if somebody's wanting to do it but they don't know if they should?
Well, it comes down to what you want and what you want to do, right? Mm-hmm. So having the whole big corporate environment where you're plagued by what you can do and how you can do it, that works for some people. If that's what they want to do, if that works for them, perfect. But for me, I want to be able to have an environment that causes me to grow, helps me grow, and also is able to provide a all-in-one type of environment for clients that want to invest, that want to buy their residential houses, with being able to use the latest marketing technology, to be able to use the social media platforms right now, the videos, where everyone's attention is going, to be able to have that and not be bogged down by just having websites and lead sources of different types, but also having the whole environment of, hey, if I have a question about how much it's going to cost to side a house before a client puts an offer in, I can walk down the hall and have that answered in 2 minutes. I can also figure out what it's going to take for a client to invest in another property while their single family is there. Just to have everything all under one roof is huge. And to be able to provide that for clients, it's going to be...
Right, and also your decision was not based, solely on any immediate monetary gain, right?
Not at all.
You're betting on yourself, but you're also betting on, everything that we're providing and this whole the team environment for you to be happy, for you to be successful. So there is a certain aspect of like, hey, I'm not looking to make the switch because they're going to give me the X dollars. They're just going to...
It's not about the dollars at all.
Yeah, it's going to open me up to other opportunities where I'm going to then perform at a much higher level. And by, virtue, you will gain all the things that you want as far as monetary goals or, relationship goals, etc.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's where it comes down to, is having this tight, smaller environment of open doors with everyone. If you need something done, need something answered, it's there for you. It's right there. Plus, you can sit around and go play ping pong and figure out a strategy on how to go buy fourplexes in Andover, or meet walking
right.
out of the elevator and say, hey, where are you going? It's like, oh, I'm going to look at fourplexes right now. It's like, great.
Right.
Yeah,
and, me walking by and Daniel's, what did you say about, how do you feel about a $75,000 NOI? Just...
Oh, yeah. I was
again, just close your eyes.
How do you guys feel about 12 caps? Do you enjoy those?
Yourself walking by, and then Daniel comes, or whoever comes in it, and then just blurts out.
I said, how do you guys like $75,000 NOIs on $600,000 purchases? Do you guys like 12 caps?
And I was like, hey, let me get a drink of water, but I want to listen to what you're saying, so go ahead. So...
Answer is yes, they do, and everyone should. So,
right, but those are things that just sometimes they're spontaneous, and I think Daniel appreciates the fact that you can just blurt it out. You're like, hey, let's go play ping pong. And on the way there, you're like, hey, let's talk about this deal.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different, I really love the environment. I'm excited that you're going to be a part of it.
I'm super excited to be here.
You're going to fit in extremely well. You already do. And, I think now for everyone except Stas, who's still going to be getting busier through the winter probably due to his superstar real estate agent status. But I'm going to use some of this time as an opportunity to look inward and try and understand more about myself and my strengths and weaknesses. And I know you've definitely done it too, and I know you have as well,
every day.
So
always. I mean, you always just have to.
I replay it every day, and I'm like, what happened? How what did I not do, or what could I do
better? Too few Celsiuses. That was my mistake.
You know what? I only had one so far.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Madness. All right, we need to go have some Celsius, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.